ABC6 investigates. Back in February, we showed you how the Village of Brice supports its tiny police force by writing loads of traffic tickets.
Now, the investigators didn't stop digging, and tonight, how Brice has found a way to squeeze even more cash out of those traffic stops. Here's Chief Investigator Tom Sussi with the latest, huh?
Guys, that's right. The Village of Brice and a local towing company are in business together. It's all spelled out in this contract. Bottom line, the village gets a cut from all vehicles its police department has towed and impounded.
We were literally stranded. There was nothing we could do.
John Sasser, John's wife Connie, and their two dogs. Abandoned by a person who took an oath to serve and protect them.
Says, I have to impound your car. You gotta be kidding.
That Village of Brice police sergeant wasn't kidding. Connie Sasser was ticketed for driving with expired plates.
It wasn't even a month.
Actually, Connie's plates were expired by just 2 weeks. Nonetheless, the family's car was towed and impounded.
That's ridiculous.
And the Sassers, along with their two dogs, were stranded right here along Refugee Road, about a mile from their home. How'd you get home?
We actually had to call my daughter.
ABC6 investigators discovered that the Village of Brice Police Department has an incentive to tow and impound vehicles. It's all spelled out in this contract the village signed last year with Twin Auto Recovery. The company pays the village a 15% administrative fee on the total bill for each and every vehicle towed and impounded. This partnership is paying dividends. In less than a year's time, the village has pocketed more than $8,000. ABC6 investigators recently dug through these impound vehicle reports. No registration. Last year, between August and December, Brice police had 228 vehicles towed and impounded. In more than 70% of these cases, the driver either didn't have a license or was driving under suspension. We asked both Columbus Police and Ohio Highway Patrol how they handle these violations. Both tell me the driver would be ticketed, but their vehicle wouldn't necessarily be towed and impounded.
Typically what we try and do is work with people and try and let them make some kind of arrangements to get the vehicle off the roadway in those kind of situations so that they don't incur a tow bill.
Then there's these 30 citations. 16 vehicles ticketed, towed, and impounded for expired plates and tags, 13 for expired registrations, and 1 for failing to show proof of insurance. Both CPD and OHP say they do not tow and impound vehicles for these sort of violations.
That is a minor misdemeanor citation. He will give them a citation, a moving citation, but that vehicle will not be impounded.
Brice police also ticketed, impounded, and towed 5 vehicles because the driver's license was expired. That citation alone carries a $250 fine. Those licenses, on an average, were expired by 24 days. CPD's policy? Well, if a driver's license is expired under 6 months, vehicles are not towed and impounded. At most, Sergeant Rich Weiner says a citation could be issued.
We give discretion to the officers and we expect them to use it.
Naturally, we have lots of questions about the village's lack of discretion. Brice Police Chief James Ebersbach can't answer our questions. That's because he's in a heated court battle with the village over his job and remains on paid administrative leave. Brice Mayor Amy Evans won't talk. She declined to be interviewed for this investigation. If you recall, the mayor ducked my questions in February when ABC6 investigators reported how traffic tickets support the village's police department. Mayor, these are all legitimate questions. I'm just trying to get your answers. The village wound up dismissing the family's $125 ticket for driving with 2-week-old expired tags. They still had to pay the $179 towing and impounding bill.
They shouldn't be doing this.
John Sasser says writing traffic tickets, towing and impounding vehicles for violations like expired tags isn't serving and protecting anyone.
Somebody needs to get out there, really investigate what's going on, and this is nonsense. It really is.
Well, someone is investigating. State Representative Cheryl Grossman raised concerns after watching our first investigation back in February. Tonight, the representative tells me discussions are ongoing about the police department there, particularly its system of writing traffic tickets. The village is too small to qualify for mayor's court, so last year it passed an ordinance and started writing tickets as civil violations.
Yeah, I had this thought when you ran your original traffic ticket story. If they weren't writing all these tickets, if they weren't now towing and impounding cars too, getting all this money, could they even support a police department in Brice?
No, there's about 115 residents there. There's no other revenue coming in.
115. Why is there even a police department there in the first place?
Well, you've got one full-time police officer, 2 part-time, and state lawmakers tonight are wondering the same thing. Why? What purpose doesn't serve?
Right.
All right.
Well, thanks for digging, Tom.
You got it, guys.
Updates on this one. If you have any tips for Tom and the ABC6 investigators, you can leave them a message at 255 News or drop them an email at tips@abc6onyourside.com.